Alright, so UFC just did their press conference for UFC 307, Khalil Roundtree versus Alex Pereira. So I'm just going to do a breakdown. Thought it'd be fun because this press conference was dog shit. Now, I don't mean that it's one of the worst we've ever had, or it was like overall just like terrible, like bad questions, everything. There's always bad questions in these press conferences. They haven't had good ones in a very long time. But this press conference was kind of dog shit just because there was, like, I personally think the women's divisions are shit, and I would just rather not watch women fights because they are, as some MMA Joeys say, barn burners. But I just think they're boring to watch. Even finishes and like knockdowns and stuff. It's just something about it. You can say I hate women or whatever. I don't. Just saying. But it's just like it's just not fun to watch. Maybe it's just because it's newer, so their skill level is just really low. And a lot of the times it kind of just looks like a really low, looks like a low level version of Dricus du Plessis versus like Sean Strickland. That's almost every single women's fight. The only fun times, I guess, are when you get those horrendous moments of like the women who get fucking that giant cut down her face that literally you could see her skull. That fight was a little epic, I guess, because the woman survived long. But this whole press conference, it was the perfect way to sell women in fighting. And what I mean by that is just 90% of this press conference was Raquel Pennington, and Julia Pena, and Kayla Harrison. I know she's a man, but like, you know, she counts. And then we have her opponent, the Brazilian lady. I can't remember her fucking name right now. But basically, it was 90% of them. It was questions for them. It was about them. It was about, you know, what they're going to do in their fighting, their activity, all this other stuff. But it just made me bored. You know, I wanted to like it because I'm like, okay, maybe Kayla Harrison might be able to spark something with these women. You know, they might be able to, you know, get in each other's faces, or like, you know, oh, I'm gonna get up and fight you. You know, like those, oh shit, what's about to happen. But this was kind of just okay, Kayla Harrison just ranting that, you know, it'd be like, oh, Kayla Harrison. Oh, I'm not the new dog here. I've been around for a while. I'm a double gold medalist. Blah 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 blah. And then in the next sentence, it would literally be, oh well, you know, I know I'm new around here, but you know, I've shown my stripes. I've done what needs to be done. You know, just something like that, where it's just contradiction, and you know, it's just boring to watch. You know, I'm not seeing that from the guys. Is all I'm saying. You know, if two guys get heated, it's literally like one of them stands up, looks the other down, and it's like, yo, we can go right now, dog. And then the security comes in and like holds them back, and, you know, little cringe moments like that. But at least it's something, you know? Or we get death threats. Or we get predictions of like, oh, round one knockout, gonna do this, you know? But this was just boring. Like, it was just Kayla Harrison yapping that she's not on steroids. Okay, buddy. And then, you know, pretty much it. Like, all the other women were just like, oh, well, I have finishes in this game. Oh, well, I have a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. What women in the UFC don't? You know what I mean? But it's just boring. Like, I'm trying to think of a better way to put it, but it's just like, why am I watching this? You know what I mean? Like, when I'm at least watching, like, Sean O'Malley might be shit on the mic, right? But at least he's making predictions here, and maybe he's making, you know, cringy quotes like, you know, Aljamain poop stain knocked out in round two or whatever. Like, stuff like that. Sure, it's cringy and whatever, but at least it's something, you know? You can at least sit on that, and it's like, oh, well, that's not a good look for that guy. With women, it's just like, oh, okay, 90 minutes of this? Wow. And then they get into the fight, and then what happens? It's a hugging fest for 25 minutes. Woo! Can't wait for that. But no, in all seriousness, it is just like, brain rot. It's just so, like, depressing seeing these women try to promote a fight, you know? Like, I know it's Raquel Pennington, right? And I get that, and it's Juliana Pena. But literally, yes or no, man? Like, Juliana Pena literally looks like a pick-me girl here. And she kind of sits there with a mic. And she's being berated by pretty much everyone on the panel. By Raquel Pennington, by fucking Kayla Harrison about finishes and shit. And she's just sitting there, like, trying to smile and everything. And it's like, we get it. You're going to start an OnlyFans after you lose, okay? But, you know, just spark something, you know? Like, say you're going to finish her or something. Or like, oh, after I beat Raquel, I'm coming for your ass, you know? Like, just do something, man. Like, this is just painful to watch. And it's not even like I hate women, right? It's not that at all, you know? I want to enjoy it. But let's just be real. Their fights are pretty fucking boring, alright? There's very few fights I think the women have had, especially in recent history, that are actually good. And the only time it was good is when women were getting knocked out in goofy ways. Or when you see a woman sprint across the fucking octagon, trying to get away from her opponent. Or when, you know, I think it was Aylin Perez submits someone and then twerks literally on her corpse. That's pretty much how that went. But this press conference was just Kayla Harrison, Raquel Pennington, Juliana Pena, and that Brazilian lady getting questions, and it was literally 50 minutes of just like, you know, it was just like, move on, you know, can we get some questions for some other people? And I think the problem really is the card. It's not a bad main card as far as like fights go, but it's a pretty bad main card for like press conference, you know? You have Khalil Roundtree just being like, I was fat, and now I'm not. Think for yourselves. You know, believe in yourself. You know? Like, we need some OG Michael Bisping here, you know? Conceive, believe, achieve. Fucking, fuck that shit. You know what I mean? We need some of that around here. But then you have Alex Pereira, which he's never a guy that, like, you want him there, but you don't want him there for him to speak. You want him there because he has aura, you know? Like, when he's sitting there staring at Strickland, just, like, eyeing him down. And then when he's fighting Adesanya and he's just eyeing him down, and Adesanya's just fucking yapping and yapping and yapping, and Alex Pereira's just stone cold face. It's not fun when it's just, like, Khalil Roundtree being like, I was once fat, man, and now I'm not. I got a secret thing in my bag. You know, it's just shit. You know, it's just, no one really cares. And outside of them, I don't even think... Oh, I guess Jose Aldo got one or two questions. Now, what I will say... none of the questions, like, were any good. All of them are just like... so what does getting the belt mean to you? You know, like, we haven't heard that a billion fucking times. You know, cool to have Jose Aldo and, Alex Pereira up there, but, you know... Mario Batista, I think, got a question as well, but it was just, like, another one of those forgettable... Like, who cares, move on questions. Like, oh, what do you think? Do you have something new for Jose Aldo or something like that? It's literally like, bro, like, just fucking move on, please. Like, ask something worthwhile, you know? Rather than just watching these two fucking women just, like, yap at each other. Yap, 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 you know? And there were, I guess, some moments where it's like, oh, this might get exciting, but mostly it's just like, huh, Juliana Pena, you sound like a chihuahua. You know, it's just like, wow. You know, like, bro, just get in her face and be like, you're a bitch, you know what I mean? Or like, start throwing some muddy words out here, you know? Like, make it fucking interesting. You know, I'm fucking falling asleep at the wheel here. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. I guess Alex got one or two questions, and I guess the highlight of the whole thing was when Alex says, Shama. And that's pretty much it. Other than that, there was literally nothing of note. Not, like, one of the worst of all time, but I do think it's really bad. It's a terrible look for women, because I don't think you're going to get any other woman to be more outgoing in terms of a press conference other than Kayla Harrison. And if Kayla Harrison still makes it boring, it's kind of just like, you know, Kayla Harrison's basically a man at this point, so it's literally like, if you don't have one of them making your sport interesting, like, what are we doing, you know? Just fucking boring. Just boring dog shit. That's pretty much this whole press conference. Pretty interested in the fights, I guess, aside from the women. But yeah, I guess I look forward to Alex Pereira getting a knockout or submission on Khalil Roundtree. I think that'd be entertaining. And then Jose Aldo making his return. But other than that, I guess everything else was just a boring fucking slog, and UFC's got to do, bro, UFC's got to do something, like UFC's really got to step up their game with promoting these fucking fights. I know a lot of people have been talking about it recently, but it's like, how do you have something like Francis Ngannou run on Ferreira literally being like two giants walking through a city, CGI animated, and then like UFC's best promotion is this? You know what I mean? Like, it's just, like, do something. Even if we miss out on this, like, to be honest, at this point, depending on the card, I think if you have a card like this where it's like two women fights on the main card, really. But if you're having something like that, just cut them down. Either get them off the main card or just scrap the whole fucking press conference and have some sort of sick animation for everything else. Because, bro, I'm telling you, like, nowadays you can get fucking anything made and like the snap of the finger with these fucking art creators, bro. Like, get to this, UFC. Like, what are you doing? You're falling behind the times. Fuck, PFL is doing a better job than you at promoting fighters. Like, it's kind of insane. Only fighter Dana White wants to promote is fucking John Jones for beating his wife. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. Just something a little quick to sit on. And yeah, this press conference was just dog shit. I hope they get better, man. Because if 308, I don't even remember who's the main event for UFC 308. Oh, Ilya Max. Oh, this one's cooking. Okay, this one's cooking. But wow, Sharuputin really on the main card, eh? Ooh. Ooh. Interesting. Yeah, but that's pretty much all I want to say. 308 looks like it could be entertaining. But you gotta be careful with good fighters, man. Like someone like Alex Pereira, you really don't want to sell him on press conferences. You really want to sell him like in the fight, outside of the fight, octagon interview type situation. You don't really want him for this type of situation, and I feel like the UFC was kind of betting on Pereira to make this press conference good. But overall, this press conference was just a bunch of women yapping, and it literally is just like, it's like, oh, I'm gonna get finishes and blah 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 blah, and it's like, wow, I can't wait for that 15-minute decision where it's gonna be a 29-28 and one of you wins and the other one is like, oh, I got robbed. Can't wait for that. But yeah, all I wanted to say, made it to the end. Want to thank you for watching, and as always, I hope you have a good day.